Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another great fun teamwork session. So, as you guys know, we're in the self-esteem and healthy relationships phase, and we're getting ready to wrap it up. And we're going to do an activity this week that really tests their knowledge. So, we've been introducing ideas and concepts. We've been asking those open-ended questions and challenging their critical thinking skills. We've been cheerleaders for the kids and really tried to build their self-esteem. And doing a lot of exploring through like the cross the line and the ones with the values and how they feel and value trading, building those power animals so they can identify with something courageous and strong, and so on and so forth. So we've done a lot of activities like that. We've introduced a lot of ideas and talked a lot about all these different kind of concepts. So as I said earlier, we're going to test their knowledge now. Alright, so today we're going to play Assets Jeopardy, just like that good old-fashioned game show you've seen on TV. It's going to be a real scaled-down version of the live show, but in essence that's what we're going to do. We're going to test their knowledge by playing a game of Assets Jeopardy. So what's our question of the day to get things going? Our question of the day is, what are you most afraid of in life and why? So really try to keep the conversation positive in this, just in case it gets a little deep. But keep that in mind that this is one of those deeper questions, so it might get a little deep, but we want to bring it back and make it a little more positive. But it's a great opportunity for you to get to know something about your kids, all right? So what are they really afraid of? Are they afraid of growing up? And maybe that's something they'll share with you. Maybe they're afraid that they won't be able to get a good job or go to college one day. Maybe they're afraid that they're not going to pass the grade that they're in. But just something for you guys to start to think about when you ask this question. Alright, so that's going to be your question of the day. What are you most afraid of in life and why? Next, we're going to try to affirm them, try to do something, one more positive activity, and this time it's going to be from their peers. All right, this time it's going to be from their peers. So in this activity, if you guys are sitting in a circle, you're going to turn the chairs around. So let's say if we're sitting in a circle, and right now when we sit in the circle, we're all facing in, right? For this activity, we're going to turn the chairs around. Now the backs of the chair are facing in, right? So now I'd be sitting on this side, if you can see me in the camera, all right? I'll be sitting on this side. My cameraman tells me you can't see me. So you'll be sitting on that side, all right? So pretty simple. When you guys do what's good with you, your chairs are facing in, everybody's knees are facing in. For this activity, you're going to keep a circle, turn the chairs around. Now the backs of the chairs are facing in, all right? You're going to split your team up into 2 groups. So if you have 10 kids, you'll have 5 kids, have them kind of spread around in the circle, sit in the chairs, and then you'll ask 5 of your kids to stand in the middle, all right? And it's about them anonymously paying a compliment to each other. So it's called batter up. So the students are in the middle are battered up, right? They're the ones who are up for bat. And you're going to name out some qualities out loud. You're going to name out some qualities, and you're going to ask the students in the middle to anonymously tap someone on the shoulder. So if I'm facing that way, I'm not going to know who's actually tapping my shoulder, all right? So more than one student can tap, or the students in the middle can tap the same student if they want to, but just make sure that everyone gets tapped, all right? So really keep an eye in watching how it goes. So here's some examples. Tap a student who's kind to others, a student who has a good sense of humor, who works hard in school, who you can trust, who's a good listener, who's helpful, who has a great smile, great fashion sense, who you'd like to say sorry to or thank you to. So that's a good one. I love that one. Someone you like to say sorry to or thank you to. But anyway, that's batter up. Remember, circle with the backs in. If you have 10 students or whatever your number of students are, you divide it equally, have them spread around in a circle, have the students in the middle, you'll read the statement out loud, they'll tap them on the shoulder, and then you're done. Now, I would repeat it, do it one more time, allow the students on the outside circle to stand on the inside, the kids who are on the inside, allow them to sit in the chairs so they also can get some positive reaffirming or whatnot. Just, get some nice compliments. And that's batter up, all right? And as I said to you before, we're going to do Assets Jeopardy. So here's Assets Jeopardy. And Assets Jeopardy is really going to test their knowledge. So I hope they've been listening. So you're going to have your categories, just like the Jeopardy game, celebrating me, dreams and goal setting, feelings and anger, making healthy choices, and friends and peer pressure. As you see here, there are different values The first one are $100 valued questions. The second one are $200 valued questions. 300, 400, and 500. Mentors, be sure that you're the only ones who have the questions and the answer key, or it's not going to be as much fun, right? You'll split your team up into 2 groups. You guys can decide who goes first, flip a coin, arm wrestle. I'm joking. But however you want to choose who wants to go first. And then you'll ask them to pick a category. So let's say, for example, they say, celebrating me for 100. Celebrating me, here's the question. Are we special because who we are or because of what we do? Are we special because who we are or because of what we do? And if the student says, hey, who we are, ding, 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 they get those points. They would get 100 points. So you need somebody to keep score for you. Once that question's been answered, you'll cover it with the post-it, so you make sure that you don't revisit that. And then also you start to see what's available on the scoreboard there. Something else to keep in mind, you guys will see, if you guys can see this on the camera, this is what it looks like. But there'll be certain categories or questions that are highlighted. Those are worth 300 points. So that's the hidden daily double Jeopardy, all right? So remember in Jeopardy, they have the daily double. So the points are doubled to 300 points. So something to keep in mind. So for example, here's a hidden daily Jeopardy. For 200, making healthy choices. Many people your age do or do not use alcohol, tobacco, or other drugs. And the answer is most people your age do not use alcohol or drugs. So I picked that question on purpose because you're going to feel out some of these answers. Some of these answers, some of these questions that we're asking are a little gray, so mentors, use your good judgment. If you want to give them the points, give them the points. If you want them to work at it and really come up with the real answer, then keep that in mind as well. But there is opportunity for you to kind of use your judgment, and you guys can decide if you want to give them the points. So again, it's still very kind of, you know, touchy-feely. There is some gray. There might be opportunity kind of, you know, debate the answers. And so on and so forth. So it's something for you to keep in mind. So hopefully your Assets Jeopardy won't end up on the floor. But it's really fun. The kids love Jeopardy, and those of you who've been veterans in our program probably would love the game too. And that's about it. Don't forget your team box. Don't forget your one big thing I learned. Don't forget to engage in conversation. There's a lot of good questions in here. Hopefully you guys can take a look at the questions before you come out to session. And keep in mind, there'll be one more self-esteem activity, but it's going to be an art project just really to close it all off and let them walk away with something. So we got a really cool art project to close the phase. And don't forget to work on those relationships. No matter what kind of activity we're doing, that's the most important part of mentoring, is the relationships. And I hope you have a good time playing Assets Jeopardy. It's Will signing out.